Hello, I'm Dr. Paul Simon, psychiatrist. I am a psychiatrist, by the way, just fully licensed and board certified in the practice of psychiatry, which is a subspecialty or specialty of medicine. I went to medical school and I've been in private practice for going on about 15 years now. Today, I just wanted to talk to you about faith and mental health. Now, there are a lot of causes of mental health problems. There's biology and genetics. There's also situational factors such as trauma and drugs and alcohol and health problems that can all lead to or combine and add up to mental health problems. It's easy to understand when you think about all the bad things that can happen to us, and we can end up feeling depressed. Now, faith is an interesting and sensitive topic with my patients, and often it's something that I fail to address just because it is such a sensitive topic. But according to studies, faith and a belief in God, higher power, is the biggest single predictor of lifelong happiness. Now, other studies can interpret that as a social connectivity, so a connection to other people and something greater than us. Now, when we don't feel connected, it makes sense that we'll feel isolated, alone, and we won't have the support, just practically speaking, of financial support or practical, things such as housing or transportation, and other resources if we're isolated and alone. We are social creatures. We need other people. That's how we evolved. And like it or not, we need other people in our lives to do better. And if we have other people in a belief that we are connected to something greater than ourselves, and have purpose and objective value, just by our simple existence, then we tend to do better. Think of it this way. The Bible, which is, the Christian foundation of our faith, and I am Christian, practicing Catholic, in fact. The Bible is the oldest and best-selling self-help book out there, ever, in history. So there's a lot of different interpretations and spin-offs of the Bible and different religious sects and religions and stuff. But if you look at the Bible and what it tells us how to behave. It tells us how to view the world and to view ourselves and to view other people. And these are all things that are relevant to our mental health. And if, let's say, you're not that comfortable with Christianity per se, I do meet a lot of people who are proclaimed atheists and different things, and look at it this way with philosophy. If you've ever read some ancient philosophers, from Cicero to Plato and Aristotle and all these old dead dudes, what do they write about? They write about right living and how to approach the world and see ourselves and existence, and they're looking at the difficulties that we all face in living, in finding meaning and purpose and happiness and joy and contentment. So even the pagans and the Romans, all the original, philosophers in the ancient times, were all talking about mental health stuff. So I encourage people to read those philosophers and explore those different things that will lead people closer to the truth and further on their journey. The modern philosophers are a little bit more suspect, and have led to some severe societal ills like communism and genocide and different things like the nihilism that was promulgated in the 1800s. But I think if people really cling to their faith and search for truth and meaning, they will find joy and at least some purpose and meaning. I can attest to that in my personal life. It's been very true that the times that I've done better in my life is when I've clung to my faith more aggressively, let's say. Praying is a form of meditation, if you will, and connecting with God. And again, God is the ultimate source of truth and wisdom and love. So all those things, it makes sense, are important for mental health, truth and honesty and love and strength and courage and humility and all these things. So if we cling to our faith and God, God will provide those things. That requires a lot of humility, though, to accept it, because a lot of times God does not give us what we think we want or what we think we need, but he gives us what we do need. And sometimes the medicine can be a bit bitter. Faith, if you think about it, is really a grounding in reality, the bigger reality that exists beyond us. The people that struggle a lot with mental health get stuck in their own self, in their own head, in their own pit of despair, or even logic. But faith requires, at some point, an abandonment of logic. You have to find the truth, but beyond that is where faith lies. So truth and knowledge and wisdom and book learning and all that stuff will take you only so far, but at some point, faith has to bridge the gap to ultimate truth, which is beyond our comprehension as humans with our little brains and our little understanding. Faith and the practice of religion does provide structure, just social structure and day-to-day structure. So I'm Catholic, all right? So if I had more time or was retired, I would probably attend daily Mass, and daily Mass is usually in the morning, all right? For example, that practice of my religion would lend itself to good sleep habits. So sleep hygiene, as maybe I've said in other videos, is really important to mental health. Social connectivity is a very good indicator of overall mental health. So going to church, surrounding yourself with people that are also trying to be the best people that they can be, I think that's a good place for us. Yeah, so I could say more, but I'll leave that for another time. But yes, faith and spiritual development and growth is really important to mental health. So try to practice your religion. And I'm speaking from a Christian perspective, but according to studies, it really does apply to other faiths, Islam and even Buddhism and different religions. So Sikhism and other things. So I think if you are pursuing truth actively, reading those books that are written by people who are also seeking truth, I think those are good things for the foundation of our mental health and emotional well-being. So keep up the search for truth, open your heart and mind to the broader, higher truth and love. And I think that will do you some good. I know it's done me a lot of good. And so keep up the good work, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.